Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions. This is Face to Face at Antietam. This is the prototype. The author who owns Everingham Games sent me a copy for preview, so I'd like to thank him for that. Essentially, let's go over the setup here. This is obviously a card game about this battle, but let me show you what the battlefield looks like. You have the left flank here. The Confederates have some artillery there. This is the cornfield, and the Union is defending it. That's why it's pushed towards their side, so the defender gets one extra dice in an attack. This is a sunken road. This is the Antietam Creek Bridge, and then the right flank is right here. Currently, neither side has any units on the right flank. To win the game, you got to take these objectives. The Union has an initiative always on the first turn, so they get this initiative card here. And you pull out one of the turn of events cards that has initiative. Not to use this stuff here because we've already determined initiative because it's a first turn, but so you get the burst value here, which is 3. That's for artillery. So the Union will go first, and each side has a hand of 7 cards to start the game with. So let's grab the Union cards. On the first turn, you can only place units on the left flank here and at the cornfield. On the next turn, then it will be the sunken road, and then the next turn after that, everything. Alright, so Union have to place 3 cards this turn. If they have artillery, they can place it here on the flank. Otherwise, if it's infantry or whatever, they place it with the general there in that column. So let's see if we have. There's an artillery, so they're going to place that. And the point of the symbols up here is if you get 3 of the same symbol plus you have a general, then you have a general with a brigade, so you'll hit on a 4, 5, and 6. If you don't have a general and if you don't have a brigade, you only hit on a 6. If you have just a general, you hit on a 5 or a 6. So it's important to form brigades whenever you can. So these two have the same symbol, so he's going to put these out here in the hope that he gets more of that symbol and he can build some brigades later. Alright, now the Confederates go, and let's see what they can put out there. They have 3 with the same symbol, so they're going to place those. They're not a brigade yet, though, because they do not have a general in that space. So the Union's going to attack first. They're going to attack with their artillery here. It's going to attack the artillery there. It only hits on a 6. Rolled a 4, no hit. And now these 2 infantry and the general are going to attack these guys here. They will hit on a 5 or a 6 since there's a general there. So actually 3 hits, not bad. So it's up to the Confederate player to choose how he takes his hits. So he's going to take 1 on each. So you just turn them on an angle like that to show that you have 1 hit. If you have 2 hits, you move it to the end of the line like that. So essentially the cards have 3 steps. On their third time they're hit, they're destroyed. But they can be brought back to their hand at the beginning of each turn in order to heal them. So now it's the Confederates who are going to go. These guys get to shoot back, of course. Alright, so the artillery is going to go and fire at that artillery. Misses. And now these 3 guys here, they don't have a general, so they're only going to hit on a 6. No hits. So none of the objectives have been taken, so the game continues on. Every time a victory flag is captured, you flip that over. So now that we're on turn 2, we can do the formal sequence of play. It starts by, for orders, each player will draw 2 cards plus 1 for each brigade. So we'll start with the Union. They draw these 2 cards and put them in their deck. And the Confederates will draw 2 cards and put them in their deck. And now attach new troops from reserves. Here's the Union reserves here. So on this turn, they can place them on the left flank, the cornfield, or the sunken road. So let's see what symbols he's got here. He's going to place this general here. And then 2 infantry. Actually, he's not limited to 3 on turn 2, so he may place everything. Let's see what's here. No, he's going to wait because he's going to need to place them there. Alright, Confederates will go. I'm going to put down another artillery here. And then, well, they'll save the other one for the other flank. And then they'll put down 3 infantry here. Fortunately, they don't all have the same symbol. Otherwise, they would have been a brigade. All right. And now you can medically withdraw any units that are wounded up to 3 cards. So he's not going to withdraw those yet. They're not wounded enough where it's even worthwhile. Alright, so now we're going to do combat, and it'll be heavy artillery first. Union will go first. So Union fires 1 from that artillery there and gets a 6. Alright, with artillery, when you get a hit, you got to use the burst number. We skipped one phase though. We were supposed to flip over another turn of events card, so we do. So it's surprise attack. So each infantry with a star on it may roll 2 dice each for a surprise attack. So the only one with a star on it is none. This one here is cavalry that has a star, so nothing happens with this. So it's still Union initiative. But this has a burst number on top, which is a 2. So when you hit with artillery, you start at the first card in the line and you count out the burst number. So 1, 2. So the hit is on this one here. So we're going to turn that to the side. Now we're going to do our infantry attacks. So we got 3 attacks here. They're going to attack down there. And they get 1 extra dice because they control the cornfields. They do have a general, so there's 5 hits. So the Confederate chooses to take their the second hit on that card there. All right, we got this row here. Got 3 attacking. You're going to be attacking this column, of course. And they actually get 3 hits. So 1, 2, 3 hits. And now the Confederates go. Confederates have 2 artillery here, and they're going to both fire on the Union artillery. Both missed, and down here they have 3 infantry firing. They don't have a general with. So they get 1 hit here, so I'm going to put it on the infantry. And down here, you have 3 infantry and a general, so they're going to hit on a 5 or a 6. So they take 2, so these 2 will take damage. Alright, so then we're going to start a new turn. Alright, we start a new turn, and it starts with initiative, so a new turn of events card is drawn. This is Clara Barton. Return up to 3 injured Union cards to reserve. So these 2 are going to go back into the reserve, so they'll be healed. Alright, and now each side draws 2 cards, plus 1 for each brigade, so the Union draw 2. These 2 here. And the Confederates draw 2. Now you attach new troops from reserves. They can put them up. They have can put them in both bridge section or in the flank now. So let's see what the Union's going to put there. Put down a general there, an infantry there, and 2 infantry here. Confederates, they're going to place an artillery over here. Stonewall Jackson there. And they're going to place a general here, Mr. Early. Actually, he's going to place this guy over here with artillery, because if he's deployed on a flank, units there may re-roll all dice, the same number of the current burst number. So this guy will go here. So now you can medically withdraw units. Alright, so they're going to medically withdraw him and him. Just go back into his hand. And now we're going to do heavy artillery. Union still has initiative, so they will fire their artillery. This will be the last turn I show you, and then I'll talk about the game a little bit more. So that missed. So over here, got a general and a cavalry who just acts like infantry in this case because it's not on a flank. All right, so 2 6s, so that's 2 hits. So I'm going to take 1 on him and 1 there. And over here, those 2 are going to attack. And they get 2 hits. So that will get hit there, and that will get hit. And all the way on the flank here, we got 3 dice. There's a general there, so they hit on a 5 or a 6. So they get 1 hit here on this dude. Oh, I forgot. Generals just get turned all the way to the side when they get hit. So, yeah, that guy's turned all the way to the side. All right, so that's the Union attack. So now it's the Confederates. They're going to fire 2 artillery. Miss. Over here, they're firing 3 infantry. They do have or actually 2 infantry in general. They do have a leader there, so no hits there. And over here, 3 dice. They get 1 hit. And this guy will go and do 1 damage there. And then on the flank here, the artillery is going to, since there's nothing on the flank here, is going to fire over here. Alright. So that's going to fire and gets a hit. Normally he would re-roll, but he doesn't need to in this case. So there's 1 hit there. So that's the basics how the game plays. It just keeps going until you take the terrain you need to take, and whoever's got them wins the game. Face to face at Antietam. What do I think of it? I like it. The only complaint I have about it is I don't like the way you mark injured units, like this being turned like this being turned halfway. I don't know. I almost wish there's like a token or something you could put on it, because I mean, cards get moved around and stuff. You might tell after a while, after stuff gets moved, you might be like, well, is that just on a slight angle there, or is it fully on its side where it took 2 hits? So you might get instances where you don't know if it's got 1 hit or 2 hits on it. But it's fun to play, and it plays really quick. One thing I didn't mention is there's a short game and a long game. We played this one like the long game. Obviously, we only did 3 turns. We didn't finish the game. But a short game, you would just have 12 cards in your deck, and you only have to take one terrain in order to win. But yeah, the cards and stuff, they may look different on the production version. The author mentioned there may be some changes, and obviously the rule book's going to be different and stuff. This is just a prototype, so. But yeah, it looks promising, so keep an eye out for it when it goes into production. Have a good evening.